look when the last one was, because I always like, when I do these streams, because I don't do them all the time, I'm always a little bit like, it's been a while since we've done the last one. And then, like, I never actually look and see how long it actually is. So the last one was 2 weeks ago. So it's been a couple of weeks since I've done the last one. Now, if you watch the last stream, I titled it In the Beer Garden, my new venture coming soon. And I spoke about this new venture. And when I spoke regarding this new venture, I was in the process of planning the venture. And I am still very much... pardon, sorry. I got something stuck in my tooth. I'm very much still in the planning of this whole In the Beer Garden thing. However, we are a heck, and when I say a heck, we are a heck of a lot further on with the planning than we were when I last did the stream. So for people who are or may not be aware, I will give you a brief rundown of the story of what In the Beer Garden is. So, to cut the long story short, I do a residency in a pub in Driffield called The Buck, and basically across the road they have another beer place, another pub called The Tiger. Now, The Tiger has an outside beer garden, and basically just over a month ago I was speaking to one of the other resident DJs at The Buck about, like, we need to do some stuff outside with the weather becoming nice. It'll be nice to have music outdoors and stuff, meaning that, you know, we do something outside at The Buck. And then he mentioned, well, why don't we actually do something at The Tiger? And he really got my brain like racking and thinking, like, what can I actually do here? What are we going to do here? So I started having all these like crazy thoughts, and my mind couldn't switch off, and I came up with this idea that I wanted to put on a small sort of miniature outdoor event stroke festival that would kind of give something back to the town of Driffield. So for people who don't know, I grew up in Driffield. My music journey and career very much started in Driffield, and basically when I was like first getting into music, there was a lack of opportunities for music in Driffield. There was nowhere I could go and like further my music career in Driffield itself. There was nowhere, like no real events that really gave anybody an opportunity or gave anybody a chance. So I came up with this idea, and I pitched it to the landlady and said, look, I've got this idea. It would be really, really cool to do something outside, and with this idea that we do something for like the town of Driffield, and we do something like with music. And she was in. Said it was an absolutely amazing idea. Now, when I did the stream, the last stream, which was to kind of tell you about it, and I went a little bit more sort of in detail, we still had a couple of things that we needed to answer that needed answering, that, you know, would kind of make me be like, well, right, look, this is actually like definitely something that can go ahead. First main thing was sound system. We needed some form of a sound system. I have now acquired and secured a sound system for the day. Now, the sound system is a really good sound system for a budget sound system. So the sound system, it's not mine. One of my friends bought it, and he is actually allowing me to use it on the day. And he is also very much going to be a part of the day as well, which is a cool thing too. The sound system is really good for what it is. It's like a really good kind of like budget sort of sound system without spending like thousands of pounds on a giant setup. So it's something that, for the size of what we're going to be using it for, it's something that is going to be good for that size. So we've got two top speakers, we've got a subwoofer, and we've actually got a 10-channel mic mixer, which is going to be absolutely wicked. So we had to sort of think about like what we're going to do sound system wise. So I acquired and secured a sound system, acquired a sound system, and we've now got one for the event, which hopefully means that everything should run about as smooth as it can in terms of the sound. The second one was I had a date in mind that I wanted to host the event on, and I had to like finalise if that date with the landlady. It was a good date for us. The first thing was the date was very far in advance, and I wasn't sure like if she'd think like it's a bit too far in advance, or because I was acquiring a bank holiday Sunday as well, if she thought like there's already something planned on that day, because people they do sometimes plan bank holidays and things in advance. But she was very much happy to roll with the date and stuff like that, which is absolutely fantastic. Really, really good. And then that was kind of just like the thing to kind of make me say, okay, well, let's go ahead. So the event is going to happen in the beer garden. The launch event is going to take place on the 30th of August this year, on the bank holiday Sunday. So it's like the last weekend of August before we head into September. And it's going to hopefully be a really, really good day. Super looking forward to it. So there's still a lot of work that needs to be done, and there's still a lot more work that has been done. So social media has been absolutely doing quite well, to be honest. Like, I ain't gonna lie to you, I ain't gonna sit here and say like it's been absolutely booming, but it has been doing well for the type of like event it is, for the type of page it is, for the audience it's kind of targeted at. The event page, so I've made the event page now, people can click like, people can, big ups people coming in, by the way. People can like view the event page, they can click interested, they can click going. That has actually done really, really well. Quite a lot of people interested, quite a fair few people actually saying that they're going. And the post, pardon, the posts themselves haven't been doing all that too bad either. They've actually been doing quite well, which is good. They've been getting a few shares, they've been getting a few likes. There's been like a small little bit of traction that's been building on the posts, which is like really, really good to see. So that was obviously like one of the sort of like main kind of things, like let's do this. 28 years old, lad. So yeah, the social medias, they've been doing well. Facebook has done better than Instagram. Instagram has not done too bad, but compared to Facebook, it's done really poorly. Facebook is where the main thing is. It is where the event page is at. Instagram was just like another platform just to promote the event, and to promote to people that don't have Facebook. And believe it or not, there's people that like just use Instagram and don't actually use Facebook for whatever reason. And I actually have a cousin that only uses Instagram. And the kind of like Instagram is like made by the same person that like owns Facebook. And I always kind of think like, why do you do that? Like, it always baffles me, because I used to know a couple of people. Well, I still know them, but I used to go to like raving with them 4 or 5 years ago in Hull, and they were the same. They like the bloke was like he could not, no way on earth he was going to use Facebook. He couldn't stand it, but yet he had an Instagram account. And Instagram is like, it's run by the same people. It's run by Meta. It's run by Facebook. The same people. You can basically like have an Instagram account with your Facebook login. That's how I originally made mine. So it is literally like just another app by the same person. So why you would have that by the same person and then not have Facebook, like, always baffled me. So it was, obviously it made sense that we needed to have some form of, second social media. Now, TikTok, I did think about TikTok, and I just thought TikTok, it is a really, really good thing. I wasn't certain how TikTok would do on the terms of promoting an event, because TikTok is very much for like a different kind of audience. I think like it's good to promote a track, it's good for like doing box battles, it's good for doing like reels and videos of people dancing around. It's not really that good for, I would say, promoting an event. Unless you are like a big time festival or something, then you probably are going to gain followers overall, like via having a TikTok. But like personally, I just didn't really see the point for us to have a TikTok, and I think it would just be kind of like that one platform that just never really got the treatment that the other two would get. So I never made one. However, it's something I could potentially do in the future. So we got all that in the pipeline, and then I was kind of like, well, it's great having this vision, but who's actually going to play for us? Who is actually going to like be a part of this event? We had to kind of like scout for the singers and like the live music. We had to get the live music. So I had a little bit of an ask around in some local Driffield groups just to see if there was any kind of like live music and acoustic singers, people at like the very early stages in their career, or they don't even know what it is yet, but they just know they want to do music and they want to take it further. Was there anybody out there looking for performance opportunities? And one person came forward out of like the area of Driffield itself, which was a little bit gutting. I'm not going to lie to you, but really, really enthusiastic, keen woman, young woman, young performer, whatever you want to call it, and it sent me some really, really cool. It was actually her mum that got in touch, like on behalf of her, sent me some really cool videos of her singing, and just so I can have kind of a little bit of a look of what she's like, and obviously what the vibe is. And I was instantly in. It was exactly what it was all about. It was a woman from Driffield, never done a gig before, trying to get gigs, trying to push herself within the music, somebody who definitely needed to grasp opportunities. That's exactly what I was all about. So I was instantly like, look, this is exactly, the type of thing that we need. So I got her on board. And then I put an advert out on a home musicians group and said, like, I'm looking for sort of like acts sort of within the area for a gig in Driffield. And when I did that, did my social media blow up? Because I just wrote a post as my normal Facebook, I think it was. I didn't put it via the page, I just put it as my normal look. I'm looking for young acoustic, blah blah blah, as you do. Looking for acoustic people that want gig opportunity, and this thing happening. Loads of people got in touch. A couple of weeks ago, I was inundated with messages from people that was absolutely blew me away. And I was proper, like I had big choices to make. Spoke to a lot of people, listened to a lot of people, said yes to a lot of people, and filled the lineup. We've got a full lineup of people that are going to perform on the day. And it's a really good mixture as well. So there's people like themselves, like we've got somebody from Driffield themselves, we've got people outside of Driffield, we've got some people coming across from Hull, and I kind of thought we're kind of like, yes, we are trying to give people sort of outside of the cities as well an opportunity, who maybe live in a town outside of a city and struggle to grasp an opportunity, but at the same time we're trying to boost music in the town as well. So having a couple of people from some outside towns, and some people come from the cities who would normally take a gig in the city or would normally go out to another like city and gig, to kind of come to these kind of like smaller venues in kind of like market towns and kind of help spread the music in Driffield. That is obviously like another thing of like what it's all about in that sense. So with that being said, like I secured a lineup which is really really good. So up to now, I've not announced the full lineup yet, but I've been announcing some of the lineup in little stages, so just doing like a couple of artists at a time. So currently, right now, I've announced 3 artists out of the whole entire lineup. So the first artist that I announced was a duo from Hull called Leo and Chaz, and they are like an acoustic duo that kind of sing like loads of like rock covers and rock and roll covers, kind of all the way, like they do anything from the 70s kind of all the way up to kind of like more modern day stuff, and they always absolutely smash it by what I've seen, and they do a few gigs in Hull as well, and they're coming to kind of like boost the music in Driffield, which is going to be really really cool. So I'm proper looking forward to that, and yeah, that is something that is going to be absolutely amazing to see. So that was really good to announce them. Now, in terms of who I was going to announce first, I kind of had a little bit of an idea, and then I was I'm in contact with all the artists. I was like, look, can you send me like a photo of yourself over to make like an I'm performing picture, and then I could and then send me like just a short little write up about yourself, so I could put a post together, and basically like some people sent stuff across. And it got to the point of like, right, today's the day I'm announcing something. So I was like, I'm going to announce the duo first. And then on this Thursday just gone, I announced Charlotte Harrison, who is the local from Driffield, who is playing a gig for the first time. She's not actually gigged before. And to be on this bill and to be on this lineup is going to be absolutely fantastic. So it was really good to announce her. There's been a lot of buzz around her. She's been proper excited. She's told friends and family, neighbours and stuff that she's got this gig. And she's going to be playing this outdoor gig, and she's really proper buzzed for it. And that is the type of enthusiasm that you actually want. That is kind of like exactly what you want when it comes to, like an upcoming artist, like somebody who's excited for the opportunity, they're shouting from the rooftop about the opportunity, and that you can just obviously tell that they want this opportunity so badly, and they're so excited to be able to have been given this opportunity. That is exactly what you want. And then yesterday I announced the first DJ, and I announced myself, because I'm not really like, I'm playing a 2-hour set on the event, but like the event is very much like not just about me, so I wanted to kind of just get me out of the way, get me announced, and then like I could continue on like announcing the other people. So on Thursday I'm announcing one of the other DJs. So the way I did it was, last week I announced 2 artists, this week I announced 2 DJs, and then my original plan was next week I was going to announce another artist, and then I was going to drop the full flyer. But what I'm actually going to do is next week I'm going to announce a special guest that has been added to the lineup just very recently, and then I'm also going to announce the other artist that I was originally going to announce anyway, and then I think the following week is when I'm going to drop the flyer, and that will be like when I drop the full flyer, so that should be like pretty cool. And then literally like we'll be in like the first week of June, and then that's going to give us like all of June, July, and then like pretty much all of August to like promote the shit out of the event, get flyers everywhere, get flyers printed, get like loads of different things happening, and it should hopefully be like a really really good thing. So that is my initial plan, that we're gonna like literally just get everything like absolutely everywhere and boost the absolute shit out of the event. And hopefully we can hope for what will be a really, really good day. So with that being said, if all goes to plan and everything goes well and we have a really, really good event and the attendance is quite good and it's quite clear that people are sort of like, this is what people want. Basically, what I'm kind of using this first event as is one, I want to see if this is like something that is going to do well in the town. Is it something that people like? Second of all, I want to show people what I can do. So I want to kind of show like the pub and kind of like the landlady, like, look, you know, this could be like a really, really cool thing. And then when it comes to like the following year, I'll be like, look, this is what we did last year. Would you be interested in you know, taking it up a notch and making it even better? So in terms of like we hire a better stage, you know, kind of like an offer, ask if they'll obviously like chip some money into it, and kind of just like say, look, you know, we had an amazing day last year, you know, you really enjoyed it yourself. Let's take it up a level, and let's see if we can like make it like something obviously magical, and something to remember. One thing I do want to do as well is I do want to get some photographs taken on the day as well, which will be like a really, really cool thing to do. So like I am gonna see if there is like any up and coming photographer that wants the chance to like take photos at an event. So like this would be something like pretty cool. If I could hit up like a photographer in the area that is looking for like a day of experience to get among an event, take loads of photographs, and hopefully like just enjoy the vibe, and then obviously we can have like loads of like photos to obviously post on our social media in regards to obviously like, you know, the event and stuff, and then we've got like content and stuff like that, and hopefully have some really good like, so when the event obviously like has finished and it's taken place, we don't just kind of like die, you know. So we can kind of like a couple of weeks later we can shout from the rooftop like, this time 2 weeks ago we were in that Tiger Beer Garden, the vibe was absolutely lit, and show some photos, you know, show some videos of like what's gone down in Chinatown. And you know, I think that'd be like a really, really cool thing that would like be really cool to do, and it's good to document as well. It is really good. Get some good pictures of the artists and stuff like that, and then just like, you know, be able to like, you know, take some like really, really cool stuff. And hopefully we'll have like a really, really good day in that sense. So where we actually physically are then. So we've announced 3 artists, we've got the venue, we've announced the date, we've announced the venue, we've announced the event page, we have announced so many different things. We've got some more artists to announce, and then we're going to drop the full flyer. And then there's some other bits and bobs, like I want to make a little promo video. I want to do a little tour of the beer garden. I've got some like pretty cool things that I want to do. And it would be like really, really cool, like, you know, to get some other bits and bobs done. And then I want to like really push in terms of promotion, and really, really get some stuff out there. And yeah, it would be like really, really cool, you know, to physically do that. And yeah, just kind of see sort of where it goes, and see exactly kind of what happens. And yeah, let's make that happen. Let's you know, hopefully have a really, really good vibe. So like I say, Thursday we announce the next artist, and then Friday, and then the following week we announce a couple of more artists, and then the week after after we announce the full flyer, just like literally drop the full thing and go from there. So with that being said, make sure to like, make sure to comment, make sure to share. I'm gonna be updating you on the process of the event, and I'll be putting some content up regarding the event on here as well. I may also be making a YouTube channel potentially, but we'll see. At the moment, I'm just sticking to like Facebook and Instagram, just because, you know, we're getting things off the ground and I don't want to bite off more than I can chew, and I don't want to start running before I can walk. So I'm just keeping it nice and simple: Facebook, Instagram, event page, get the actual first event off the ground, and then we can kind of like see how we improve for year 2 and stuff like that, and how we can kind of like go one bigger and go one better. So make sure to like, comment, share. We'll see you soon.